Well, here we go again. Another summer event. First we talked about the land of magical talking equines who were learning about the magic of friendship with MLP Mondays. Then we looked at the cul-de-sac with the three boys who have the same name with the eternal summer. Now, every Wednesday of this summer, we're going to be looking at the multiverse that has spanned throughout the decades and talk about Doctor Who. So this is Doctor Who Wednesdays. Every Wednesday this summer, we're going to be looking at something Doctor Who related. Let's begin with the show that started it all. Originating in 1963 on the BBC, the show involves a humanoid alien called a Time Lord that's gone rogue from its home planet of Gallifrey. The Time Lord, codenamed the Doctor, flees in an interdimensional time-traveling vessel called the TARDIS, along with various different companions along the way, as well as assistance from a military group called UNIT. The Doctor defends various areas of time and space from those trying to alter reality for the worst. And there's the reoccurring villains after the Doctor and his crew. Adversaries like the Cybermen, a race of creatures that converted themselves to cyborgs to survive and conquer. The Master, another rogue Time Lord bent on world conquest as well as seeing the Doctor suffer. And then there's my personal favorite villains, the Daleks. Evil robots piloted by squid creatures who desire nothing but, you guessed it, taking over the world.
Of course!
There's also the Time War, which takes place throughout all of history, where the Time Lords and Daleks went to war, but we'll look at that more in depth when we get to the Day of the Doctor review. One thing that's kept the show going is the Time Lords' lifespan. Time Lords don't really die, they regenerate. The core person is the same, but slightly different personalities emerge each time.
The Watcher. He was the Doctor all the time.
A lot of the people who have played the Doctor throughout the years are often theater actors known for playing over-the-top characters, which fits the Doctor's borderline eccentric personality. Instead of doing a review of the first episode of the show, I mean, we'd be here forever if we looked at every single first episode of each generation. I want to talk about the generations that I started watching, because everyone's got the first Doctor they ever watched or their personal favorite, so that's what we're going to be talking about. My very first Doctor was actually the 9th Doctor. Personally, I found him alright. He wasn't my go-to favorite, but he is a good variation. I like that he's more serious compared to the more exaggerated Doctors that came before him. With that said, he has a lot of the same charm that the Doctor has always had throughout every generation.
Excuse me, do you mind not farting while I'm saving the world?
That is actually funny. And then came the 10th Doctor, and what can I say? How can you not love David Tennant? He seems like the major fan favorite, up there with the 4th Doctor. I think this is mainly because, well, the dude's got a lot of charm. He can play serious, he can play funny, he can play intense, he can be incredibly hammy in one scene and then be a badass hero in the next. The dude is a very good actor, putting on a variety of different emotions.
Shamble, bobble, dibble, dooble. Oh, Doctor, you're so handsome. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Then Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, came in. I feel Smith is a more toned-down extension of Tennant. He has a lot of the same mannerisms, similar personality, but not quite as hammy. And that's how much I enjoyed Matt Smith's performance. He may not be David Tennant, but he's still pretty good. There's lots of good scenes of him being a badass hero, as well as having some good comedic moments in there.
There are sentences I should just keep away from.
And then there were the 2 generations after that. Ah, yes, Wiz. What are your thoughts on Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker? I actually need to catch up with those two. God, you suck as a fan. Shut up, fanboy. Another thing that's kept the Doctor Who franchise going is the unlimited location selection. With the TARDIS being able to travel throughout time and space, we can visit a variety of different points of time, different planets, and different dimensions. The possibilities are endless. Usually, the plots that aren't connected to major story arcs go as follows. The Doctor and companions land somewhere, bad guys are on the horizon, and it's up to our protagonist to stop them. Pretty freaking standard. And what keeps a lot of the story of Doctor Who going are the continuous story arcs. A lot of these arcs are no different than usual stories that you'd see in Marvel or DC comics. Certain character arcs, like with the Master, have been going on since the earliest generations, and the show has been going on, and with the new cast members that join in to play these characters, the more these storylines can continue. I think we have a general outline of the show, the characters, some of the key story elements, and I even talked about the Doctors that I grew up watching. So, what do I think of Doctor Who as a whole? It's a really good show. It's IGN 10 out of 10. It's A++. 5 gold stars. Okay, Future Wiz, settle down. The stories are cool, the lore and in-show science is neat, but I think my favorite thing about this show is the characters and the dialogue. And I love the interactions between the characters, like the Doctor and his companions, or our main protagonist with the side characters. And they even found a way to make menacing killer races of robots have funny moments.
State your identity!
You will identify first.
Identify!
Illogical, you will modify.
Daleks do not take orders.
You have identified as Daleks.
Outline resembles the inferior species known as Cybermen.
So now that we're all familiar with the show, tune in next week where we look at some of the merchandise of Doctor Who. I'm the Media Wiz, because One Art Forum wasn't enough.